a word from FanDuel. You can get buckets with your first bucket on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 if your team wins. You can bet on all your favorite NBA players and teams with quick bets, live same-game parlays, exclusive props, and much, much more. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to shoot your shot. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA, an official sportsbook partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. And last night, guys, on national TV, the Cleveland Cavaliers, frankly, laid an egg. Without Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks were without Jalen Brunson after the first 44 seconds. They were without Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson. But it looked very similar in a bad way to last season's playoff matchup between the two. I want to start with this specific question. And Steve, take tagboard full here a second. And if you could play that video. But after Josh Hart hit the dagger in the corner, this is a tweet from Earl the Pearl, our guy in the set. You can see Josh Hart kind of flicking Donovan Mitchell's chain as he ran back down the court. Now, those two were friends off the court. But even still, when you see something like this happen, and Earl, I'll start with you, are the Cavs soft to allow this to happen to them on their home court in that scenario? And is anything you've seen this season erase the preconceived notion you had of this team from last playoff series, where I know we all kind of came to the conclusion they just weren't tough enough to advance in the NBA playoffs?
I mean, if they're not soft, they damn sure didn't do themselves no favors in looking at it. And I understand that Donovan Mitchell and Josh Hart are friends, but in that moment, this is where I wished somebody on the Cleveland Cavaliers that was on that court would have stood up and did something. They went and got a flagrant foul or a technical foul to send a message like, you're not about to be doing this in our house. Yeah, y'all can be friends all day long, but I would have put Josh Hart on his ass and I would have told Spider in the locker room, I know that's your homie, but that's not my homie. And the fact that, to me, why that's so important is because, in my opinion, the New York Knicks live rent-free inside the Cleveland Cavaliers' head. See, it's one thing to run up on a player from the San Antonio Spurs. It's another thing to run up on Ben Simmons. But that ain't who you got beef with. Y'all sure didn't have that energy for Josh Hart when he went and popped Donovan Mitchell's chain. And if you think that's okay because they're friends, y'all can be friends after that. But right now, you in the middle of a game that you absolutely need to win, and he hits a dagger three in front of the Cavaliers bench, turns around, pops Spider's chain, and nobody on the court does a damn thing about it. The perception is the Cavaliers look soft. It looks like that the New York Knicks have our number. They're gritty. They're tough. They have a lot of heart. The New York Knicks is the epitome of what we wish the Cleveland Cavaliers were.
Yeah, I know you got strong feelings on it, so I'll let you go last because I read some of your tweets. Yes, they're soft. They were soft last year. They're soft now. The Knicks had a lot of guys that weren't in the box score, but there was one definitive thing that still showed up, and that was toughness. They're tough. They're mentally tough. They're physically tough. The pop chain, to me, I don't care if you're friends before and after the game. Michael Jordan never had a friend for 48 minutes that wore a uniform that wasn't red and black. Never. If you go through and you look at the dynasties in the NBA, and you can go back to the Celtics and then the Lakers and the Pistons and the Bulls, most recently the Warriors. They've all got guys on there that if murder was legal, they would do it. We've got a lot of great citizens, and that's wonderful. I love their demeanors off the court. But you have to find dog for 48 minutes every night. You have to. That chain, you could put a circle around that, and you can put that in a time capsule. And when we talk about this Cavs team in 20 years from now, and we talk about all the talent, this clip of video would be the one thing that would say, and this is what kept them from being the best they could be. I understand they're friends. And he said after the game, I don't want to say what I said to him, but something in the effect of nice chain. There were 47 minutes and 55 seconds of clock last night that didn't include that shot. He chose to do it in that moment after that shot because he knew the game was over and he was saying, we still own you. That chain is symbolic because that's the chain that makes them the Knicks captives. They own them. You're right. Rent-free in their head. Right now, so the loss last night dropped the Cavs to the 3 seed.
Correct.
The Knicks currently sit in the 4 seed. It's unlikely that they'll finish 4 and 5 like they did last year. I can't see the Knicks trending that way, particularly because the injury.
And Philly without Embiid would have to surge above.
And I don't see that.
Probably not going to happen.
Yeah, and with the injury last night, not severe. They did the x-rays. They said it was just a knee contusion. He's going to be back in no time. They're not going to slip to the 5. The Cavs may slip to the 4, and the Knicks may slip to the 3. But it all goes back to our conversation. Excuse me. Our conversation about the Cavs over the last month have looked like this. This team is playing the best basketball they've played in the non-LeBron James era. And I don't know that anybody can dispute that. Go back to the 90s teams. Historically, they set records during their 18-2 run, not just for their wins, but how badly they were beating teams. We've gone from the Cavs playing their best basketball in the history of their team without LeBron James on the roster to a team that is 7-6 in their last 13.
They're 7-6 without Mitchell. I'm not sure. I'll look at the last 13.
Yeah, I saw 7-6. Maybe they're 7-5 in their last 12.
I believe they're 4-5 after yesterday since February 12th.
That is a fact. And I know we keep coming back to the lineup, and sometimes the sum doesn't equal the parts don't add up to the sum of the team. And this team is flawed, and the roster is flawed. And the other thing too is I lost a lot of excitement, and not just over one game, but when I watched the Celtics wring their hands around the Warriors last night.
That was bad.
Nobody's beating them, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You're all playing for Eastern Conference runner-up this year. And I think you're playing for the NBA runner-up because I think the Celtics are that good.
G, before you go, to Jay's point about the lineups. Now, I think a lot of it's matchup dependent. I think last night with the Knicks being shorthanded and Josh Hart playing the 4, it gave JB the opportunity, if he wanted to match small for small, to go 4 shooters, 1 big.
Yeah.
So I dug into the numbers just because I was curious. These numbers take out, by the way, the games where Mobley was hurt. So
Okay.
these are only in games where both Mobley and Allen have been together.
Okay.
And this is from Yaya Dubin, who writes for a bunch of different NBA websites. Very good on the numbers, guys. The Cavs, and the numbers back this up. I'm going to read this directly from his blurb on the Cavs from last night. This is Yaya Dubin. I'll tweet it out if you guys want. Very, very well-respected NBA writer. Right now, the Cavs are better with only Mobley and only Allen on the court when they are together. With only Mobley, they have a net rating of plus 5.9. With only Allen, they have a net rating of plus 12.6. When the two play together, the net rating is just 4.6 in the positive. So all 3 positive, but a 4.6 together, a 5.9 with just Mobley, a 12.6 for just Allen.
Okay, so can we dive into that?
Yeah, and I just want to put that
I
out
know
there
G.
for
Bush
context because I know G wants to get into it. I know a lot of it's going to be on the.
By the way,
templates
those
with
numbers
G.
don't surprise me.
No, it matches the eye test.
It
So I just
matches
wanna-
what we've said.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
When
to give a
Mobley
little
was
context.
out and Allen was playing in his absence, the team had not looked better. They just didn't. And when I brought up, well, then if they're better with Allen than they are with both, then get something for Mobley. Get something to build on for the future. He's this unicorn that's coming. Maybe he'll get here. Maybe he won't. But I'm in it for now because we might not have Spida after this year.
Just wanted to throw that out there. So, G, I'm going to pull up
It
your
confirms
tweet
my
now.
eye test, though.
And this is a tweet from G. Bush last night. G, do you want to read your own tweet here? We'll pull it up on full screen for you. If not, I'll read it, and you can kind of give us the thought process behind these words. Steve, take tag board full here. This was G. Bush last night. You can't beat the Knicks without Randall, Anunoby, or Brunson. I've seen all I need to see. The offense is trash. No movement. Defense ain't much better either. But the worst part is no enthusiasm whatsoever after they wiped the floor with us. Hart, 13 freaking rebounds as a guard. He ended up with 19. G, the floor is yours.
I've seen all I need to see. I think we're at this point we're fooling ourselves into trying to be, nice. I jokingly call myself the Duke of knee jerk, right? And I think there's a lot of times when people have sports takes, they want to be level-headed and they want to be seen as a person that is fair-minded when you're critiquing the teams. But sometimes that just comes off as being a homer and somebody that puts their head in the sand and doesn't want to win at the highest level. This team is not good enough roster-wise. They don't have the mindset. They don't have the mindset from the general manager to the play-by-play people to the people that's in the queue or wherever you call it, the field house. Every time you get somebody inside that organization and you listen to them, they are apologizing every 5 seconds for things that they act like we don't know what we're talking about. We saw LeBron James take a team to the finals and play one of the best teams of all time. We know what it looks like when teams are dialed in. We know what it looks like when you have identity. We know what it looks like when guys get fired up. And my thing is this, Donovan Mitchell, when Draymond Green and LeBron James is friends, but when Draymond Green low blow LeBron and said what he said, it was on site. Everybody was ready to fight. Steph Curry in that mouthpiece, what did LeBron tell him? Hey, you too small. He went after Steph Curry. The fact that he came through and plucked your chain, you know what he told you? We punked you last year. You knew what type of time it was. You know that this was for the season series. You know we want the tiebreaker. And you know Brunson ain't playing. But you standing up, clapping it up, trying to coach people up. I don't give a damn about coaching. Now, you coach on the floor. That should have been an all hands on deck type game. I don't care. You got to drag me off the floor. We need to have this game. And that was the attitude. Don't get the young guys together. You lead by example. Don't get them together while you in street clothes. And he went by you and said, listen, you know what that was? You didn't want it as bad as we did. You see what I just did? I just put a triple-double on you with 19 rebounds, and I'm a shooting guard. And our best players ain't even playing. I'm the 7th best player. That's a nice chain. That's all it was, a nice chain. Wearing all these jewels on the sideline, and I'm putting dagger threes on you. We don't even need our big dogs. I'm the shooter. I'm the little dog. I'm the shooter. Don't worry about Brunson. I got you. I got the heart for it. And guess what? The rest of your dudes went out here and got drugged and on national TV got drugged again. And by the way, you came out there with Darius Garland. You told Darius Garland all of what he did for this city. Darius Garland, he's stamped in his league. He ain't stamped for nothing. He ain't win no Rookie of the Year. He had 19 points. Listen, DiVincenzo came out there. DiVincenzo was out there looking like Al Pacino. I'm the Godfather. I'm the Godfather today.
It's okay. It's okay.
And guess what we did? We looked around. And Jarrett Allen.
It's funny, though, because as we're having this conversation, I go back through the season, and there was a couple games throughout the season to where I really was sold on, okay, the mentality, the mindset of this team is totally different.
That
right?
was fool's gold.
Right, when you see them actually being aggressive or responding to what things other players do on the court, and then you hear them talk about being a tougher team and how this is not the same old Cavs team, that's cool. But this is Debo, right? This is Debo. Like, are you going to go out there like Craig and fight back? That's all I want you to do. Fight back. Like the Cavs as a fan basis right now, like, man, just fight back.
Can you imagine?
Damn.
I know
something.
I know Earl. I work with Earl, right? What if me and Earl, we getting into a conversation where we debating back and forth? And McNugget said, I'm going to give G. Bush the last word. And I go get my money off and I'm doing my G. Bush thing. And at the end of my monologue, I reach over and just flick Earl's little locks. Here you go, Earl. Take that.
Those are nice.
Bro, he got to fight.
That's fight.
He has to. Listen, I don't care if he likes me. He has to be like, listen, don't touch me no more, though.
Don't touch me,
I like
fam.
you, G. Bush, you bigger than me. We cool, you my brother, but don't touch me like that no more. The fact that he let him do that, Jay, was
disrespectful.
Crazy. It was crazy.
It was disrespectful.
And I'm like, because I think a lot of people are taking, my tweet out of context a little bit. They keep saying, well, they're friends. Spider and Josh Hart being friends, no problem. That's your boy. That's your boy.
Not during the 48 minutes.
And Donovan wasn't even playing. But if I'm a player that was on that court at that time, man, listen, that 3-point shot came right after Darius Garland turned the ball over in front of the Cavs bench.
Again.
That sealed the game. He turned around and popped his chain. In that moment, if I'm a player that's on the court for the Cavs,
because the game's over,
man, I'm going to get me a technical foul.
Right.
And I'm going to tell Spider in the locker room, that's your homeboy. That ain't mine. Right? This is our house. You're not finna come in our house and think you finna punk us in front of our fans. And regardless of what it was, I'm just going off of what it looked like. That happened on national TV. So now everybody think you finna come in here and be able to pop our chain.
Who's going to take the technical, though? It wasn't. Sure as heck ain't Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen can't even listen. Somebody need to get with him and get with some people. And I'm not going to go too far, but somebody really need to work with him on his body language. If he misses a shot, if something goes wrong, he's trotting down the court timid. He has his head down. He's moping around. It's almost like you show him any anger and he's willing to wilt. And it's crazy. You got him and Mobley. And besides all that, we haven't even got to the basketball problem. We talking about just tertiary things like
we're talking about the attitude,
hustle. We didn't even talk about the fit.
But here's the thing: all three of us, one of our favorite movies is Remember the Titans. Remember what Big Julius told Gary Bertier? Attitude is a reflection of leadership, right? Look at the New York Knicks. Brunson went down within the first 47 seconds of the game.
They rallied.
They had an 8-man rotation after he went down. 5 starters. They can only play 3 people off the bench, right? And this is what I thought about: the heart, the next man up mentality, the grit, the grind, just the whole mindset is a reflection of their coach.
You aren't kidding.
Thibs,
that's
right?
what he did.
That's a reflection of Thibs.
Yep.
I seen JB Bickerstaff get thoroughly out-coached yesterday. And what's crazy is I got to do a better job, bad job out of me, because I have a tendency to be prisoner of the moment. I seen the Cavs do everything that they were doing, and I was giving JB his flowers because he deserved them. Blinded by the fact that we just throwing up W's. But at the end of the day, once you go up against a real squad, a squad that you know is right there on your level, it's about what you do against the teams that you're supposed to be able to compete with. Not tweeting at me because Darius Garland hit a bunch of threes against Detroit. The Detroit Pistons ain't our problem.
No.
The New York Knicks is. And to see him get thoroughly out-coached like that, that's a further indictment on why people feel like, regardless of the Cavs winning, this dude needs to go.
Jay, I sent something to McNuggets the other day after the game. I sent him a clip of the press conference, and it was almost Cincinnati Bengals-esque in the way he talked about Brunson going down. And I think the context was
I know what you're saying.
When
When the Browns passing game coordinator, defensive passing game coordinator came out and said,
Shea.
Yeah, well, the Bengals beat us because we just weren't ready for their backups.
Right. This guy,
What?
This guy, JB Bickerstaff, says they asked him, hey, Brunson went down. Do you guys think you took your foot off the gas? Look at this.
Yo, this quote
Look at
right
this.
here.
By the way,
This quote right
That's
here.
the coach.
Look at this.
This right here.
Real quick, before you read it, because this is my tweet, I put it out there. This is a paraphrase of what he
Yes.
said. This wasn't the word-for-word quote, but this is what he said. And Earl, you can take it from there. I just want to make sure people know it's not exactly word for word.
That's bad enough on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, that right to your point of a team taking on its coach's personality, Tibbs has always been that way. He's always demanded that his guys give that kind of effort. There's no slacking.
J. Miles McBride came into the game, never left the court, and got buckets.
The rest of the game, he played 47 minutes and 12 seconds or whatever it was after Brunson went down. Didn't come out.
It hurt. And for me, the problem that I have is JB Bickerstaff, and I no disrespect to anybody, and I'm just saying this to give you context. He's a starter coach. He's a guy that you bring in, that he's able to get younger guys and build them up, build their confidence, and continue to get them to play and gel together as a unit. Then you go bring in a hardened X's and O's guys who's won it before, and so you can snap them into the mindset that they're supposed to be in. When you look at JB, there's 2 or 3 problems with him. First and foremost, he is crossing his arms, running up and down the court, barking at every single call. I'm like, come on, JB, just stop. That was a foul. You know it was a foul. Stop going to these refs.
You called him a monster, I think, in one of his tweets.
Just walking up, JB, that was a boy, come on. And then when you get your team and you getting smoked and you get in the huddle, the first thing you do is grabbing a clipboard, running a half court. and looking at nothing, and while your coaching staff surrounds you like you drawing something up. Why don't you get in their face and say, Darius Garland, you throw this ball away again, you will be buried on this bench. Sam Merrill will play for you. Merrill Lynch will be, you may think he gonna play so much, you gonna think that you got investments with him. Merrill Lynch is not playing with you. If I see Jarrett Allen moping, I told you about your body language, Jarrett. If anything, smack somebody. I got to find money. He does none of that. No challenging, nothing.
Let me ask you this, G. So, real quick on the JB thing, because that was funny.
Merrill Lynch is crazy.
Every coach complains after every call. JB is not the only
Yeah,
one
but
who does it.
now wait a minute.
Well, hold
Wait a
on.
minute.
Every coach does
It gets excessive at times, and
It's
when it crosses the
crazy.
line, you're only hurting yourself.
I'm just saying.
And I
it's
agree.
Not an
When I-
isolated JB issue. It's around the league.
I know, but this
he's
was
the most
excessive.
egregious.
I thought this was excessive too. Worry about your damn team.
I'm just saying it's not a only JB. And now listen, I'm not watching on TV last night. I'm not sure if they showed 100 ISOs. I was there, so I'm kind of watching the game. So if he was complaining more than usual, I'm not watching on the TV. Where
In
they show some of
general,
that.
it's more than usual.
But they all complain like crazy. But my
He's
question
right.
is,
But we have our microscope on JB,
No,
and I
and
said
that's
yesterday.
fair. That's fair. Yeah,
I
that's
said
fair.
yesterday. I said, man, he can use a little bit of Kevin Stefanski in him.
He just-
He can use a little bit of Kevin in him.
Yeah, just chill.
just
but
chill,
my
bro.
question though, before we go to the next part of the Cavs discussion, we're gonna make that second clip in a sec. We all agree, and I'm with you guys. Today, right now, February 4th, Cavs are a soft basketball team.
Yes, they are.
Can you fix that by the postseason?
No.
Is that something
No.
that Tristan
No,
Thompson
it's a
coming
construct
back in?
problem.
No.
No, it's
Or
a
is
construct
that,
problem.
That is what it is.
Yep.
I never believed that you can fix toughness.
I don't
right?
either.
I don't like so.
That's a DNA trait. That's
right.
not a
I think it's
practice
something
trait.
that my daddy used to tell me all the time, and you either born this way or you not. Like I can't teach you to be an alpha man. That's something that's either inside of you that will sprout on its own as you get older, or simply that you simply don't have, and not everybody has it. And so when you talk about a mentality, a state of mind, an attitude, or way of going about business, you can't develop toughness, right? You can't develop heart. That is something that's in you. And when you have these opportunities to really like show like the growth, the measurement of where you are now compared to last year, last night was the perfect opportunity. I tweeted out before the game started. I say, man, game day, go Cavs. I need the big Cavs to show up, not the little one. I understood they had injuries. I understood that Donovan may or may not play. But my whole mindset was forget who may or may not be out there. This team has your number.
They're probably the Knicks, by the way.
Right. When you see that logo, when you see that nickname on that jersey, you need to be locked in, ready to go, and make sure on national TV, on your home court, that you won't come out here and get embarrassed. They got out-coached, out-embarrassed, and embarrassed.
Outplayed.
Shout out to Gilbert Arenas. He said this, and I respect him for it. He said, you know, I listen to a lot of these old timers, a lot of these dudes that grew up in what we say is the heyday of the NBA. And he said, you know what, I got respect for a lot of them, but a lot of them, I can't respect them for their competitive nature. And I was like, dang, I need to see what he's saying. You see, there's a lot of teams in the 80s and a lot of really great players that died and their career ended with no rings. And half of the reason they perished and didn't get no rings was because there was this infatuation with the admiration of Michael Jordan. Instead of you going at Michael Jordan, you watched him hit 50 on you. Instead of you going at Michael Jordan, we still got some of these guys. We talk about it. Charles Barkley, you're still praising him. You're still, you still going to the golf course getting smoked by him. You're still betting on the blackjack tables getting smoked by him. You got a lot of people that play for a lot of different teams, and they all were so infatuated with Michael Jordan and the narrative of being the greatest of all time that y'all forgot that you got hands too, that you got a career too. What happened to you wanting it that bad? What happened to it? As we fast forward to today, I'm looking at the guys on this team and being like, you're a match player. You're a guy that says you want to be known as this guy, want to be a top 10 player in the league. You're a guy that they said you were a unicorn, but all these young boys is coming up, the Wemby's, the Chet Holmgrens, and you don't add nothing to your game. You said Jarrett Allen, the lights was too bright last year. You had an opportunity to remedy that this year, and you did nothing of it. And so every single time that people want to get mad and say, well, why aren't they doing anything for the Cavs? Why aren't you? It's because of that. You guys don't put max effort out. You don't go out there and play like it's your last day. And I'm tired of going at the Guardians, and I'm tired of going at the Browns, and we do it for 35, 36 weeks out of the year, and we break down every syllable of what's going on with the Browns. But the Cavs get up here and feel like because they give us 45 games, they get an ultimate hall pass. Y'all not getting no hall passes. I repeat, we got a championship ring, and we got them rings before you was here. So let's not act like you doing us some favors by coming out here playing. We know what championship basketball is, and this is not it.
It was essentially for the right for a potential home playoff game. You know, when you're playing a team for a tie break, you could be talking about the difference between being home or being on the road in a playoff series. And they acted like the game had no meaning whatsoever. And the Knicks played it like it was the game.
And that game had more meaning than what people think. Mike, I know you need to go on, but like on that night in that atmosphere, honoring Nick Gilbert, the whole
I thought that was another thing.
The whole atmosphere, it was just like, it was a major letdown. That was probably the worst loss of the season.
Yeah, that was the initial question, and I wouldn't debate that.
It's a hard loss to swallow considering they were down to 8 players a minute into the game. And without Brunson on the court, theoretically the Cavs should have had the 3 best players.
Should have.
Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, and last night Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo.
Well, I always say it. The one thing a box score doesn't measure, Hart.
That's a good one. And we're going to talk one thing.